Hey, this is Joe at the Pour Over.
And this is Bailey at the Pour Over.
Today, we're talking about ongoing protests in Minnesota, which teams made the NFL Conference Championships, President Trump's new tariffs meant to pressure the sale of Greenland, and other top news for Monday, January 19th. Stay informed while remaining focused on Christ with the Pour Over.
It's Martin Luther King Jr. Day, a federal holiday marking the birthday of the famed civil rights leader. So, here's your quote of the day, courtesy of Dr. King. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. Let's get started with some espresso shots.
Protests are still raging in Minneapolis over ICE operations. A federal judge set new limits on ICE agents' crowd control tactics Friday, banning the use of pepper spray and non-lethal munitions on, quote, peaceful and unobstructive protesters. Also on the no-no list, stopping drivers without, quote, reasonable articulable suspicion that they're interfering with enforcement ops. DHS Secretary Noem said the judge's orders, quote, didn't change anything because the tactics are only used on violent demonstrators. Meanwhile, Governor Walz has the Minnesota National Guard on standby, and the Pentagon has 1,500 active duty troops in Alaska on standby. President Trump threatened Thursday to invoke the Insurrection Act, but later said it wasn't needed right now. Meanwhile, the Justice Department is investigating Democratic Governor Walz and Minneapolis Mayor Frey over alleged conspiracy to impede immigration agents, a probe Walz called a, quote, authoritarian tactic. By the way, if you missed last week's TPO Explains episode, we covered the ABCs of ICE as well as how Christians are called to love and pray for everyone involved in contentious current events. Listen to Saturday's episode, TPO Explains, What is ICE and how does it actually operate, to learn more. Whether you're critical of federal agents or think they're unfairly criticized, the command for Christians is to love neighbors and enemies alike. That requires speaking about others with dignity and respect, even if we feel like they haven't earned it. Proverbs 10, verses 11 through 12 says, the mouth of the righteous is a fountain of life, but the mouth of the wicked conceals violence. Hatred stirs up conflicts, but love covers all offenses.
President Trump announced Saturday that 8 NATO nations will face a 10% tariff, quote, until a deal is reached for the complete and total purchase of Greenland. The threat of tariffs is the latest escalation in the White House's bid for the Arctic island governed by Denmark. Number 47 says, quote, world peace is at stake if Uncle Sam can't counter Russia and China by including Greenland in its Golden Dome defense system. Europe disagrees. Denmark, Norway, Sweden, France, Germany, the UK, the Netherlands, and Finland released a joint statement saying they stand, quote, in full solidarity with Greenland, and that the tariffs, quote, threaten to undermine transatlantic relations. Some American lawmakers agree, saying the tariffs help adversaries by dividing NATO. The 10% tax will start in February and rise to 25% in June if a deal isn't done. Negotiations progress and regress, and leaders succeed and let us down. But our hope is not in presidents, policies, or even achieving earthly peace. Put your trust in the Lord, who alone brings justice, provision, and deliverance. Psalm 146, 3-7 says, do not trust in nobles, in a son of man who cannot save. When his breath leaves him, he returns to the ground. On that day, his plans die. Happy is the one whose help is in the God of Jacob, whose hope is in the Lord his God, the maker of heaven and earth, the sea and everything in them. He remains faithful forever, executing justice for the exploited and giving food to the hungry.
And then there were 4. The NFL's division round wrapped up this weekend, featuring MLK tributes in the end zones. On Saturday, the Seattle Seahawks soared past the San Francisco 49ers, and the Denver Broncos bucked the Buffalo Bills, but lost quarterback Bo Nix to a fractured ankle. Yesterday, the New England Patriots beat the Houston Texans, earning their first post-Brady AFC Championship game, and the Los Angeles Rams stole the Chicago Bears' honey. Meanwhile, the New York Giants are hoping coach John Harbaugh can restore pride to the franchise that's gone 7-27 over the previous 2 seasons. Harbaugh agreed to a 5-year contract with the Giants after 18 seasons with the Baltimore Ravens. Tonight, unbeaten number 1 Indiana and number 10 Miami will play for the college football championship, with President Trump and Secretary of State Marco Rubio in attendance. Here's a verse to consider if you're wondering if loving sports is appropriate with so much heavy news filling your feeds and your heart. I know that there is nothing better for them than to rejoice and enjoy the good life. It is also the gift of God whenever anyone eats, drinks, and enjoys all his efforts. Ecclesiastes 3 verses 12 through 13.
Hey, it's Zan from The Pour Over. If the last thing you want to do right now is figure out what you're cooking for dinner, I know something you need: HelloFresh. It takes all the meal planning and grocery shopping stress out of cooking by delivering fresh ingredients and easy-to-follow recipes straight to your door. I love cooking, but the decision fatigue from choosing what's on the menu every night is definitely real. With HelloFresh, I pick my meals and everything I need shows up. No decision-making, no wasted ingredients. It's a total game changer. With 50-plus chef-crafted meals every week, there's always something new to try. And if life gets busy, you can skip a week or pause anytime. The best way to cook just got better. Go to HelloFresh.com/TPO10FM now to get 10 free meals plus a free Zwilling knife, which is a $144.99 value on your 3rd box. Offer valid while supplies last. Free meals applied as discount on first box. New subscribers only. Varies by plan.
In other brews, here's a rapid round of updates. President Trump was given a piece of peace hardware. On Thursday, Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado presented Trump with her Nobel Peace Prize, praising his, quote, principled and decisive actions in Venezuela. The Nobel Committee says the medal and diploma can be given away, but the honor itself is, quote, inseparably linked to the designated laureate.
The U.S. killed an al-Qaeda affiliate leader linked to the death of 3 Americans in Syria. The U.S. said a Friday strike eliminated Bilal Hassan al-Jassim, a terrorist, quote, directly connected with the ISIS gunman who killed 2 Iowa National Guardsmen and an American interpreter on December 13th. Since then, Operation Hawkeye Strike has hit over 100 ISIS targets.
President Trump has assembled his Board of Peace to reconstruct Gaza. The panel, announced Friday, includes Secretary Rubio, Trump's son-in-law/advisor Jared Kushner, and former British PM Tony Blair, a divisive figure in the Middle East due to his role in the 2003 Iraq invasion, among others. The board is tasked with implementing the next steps in Trump's 20-point Gaza ceasefire plan.
Houston, we're going back. NASA slowly rolled its rocket 4 miles to the launch pad Saturday in preparation for the first crewed flight around the moon in 50-plus years. More testing is required before Artemis 2 is cleared for takeoff, but the 4-member crew could launch by early February, paving the way for Artemis 3's moon landing, mankind's next giant leap.
Recovery crews made a breakthrough Sunday in their search for a plane that vanished from radar in Indonesia Saturday. A body was recovered near aircraft wreckage in the mountainous region where a plane carrying 11 lost contact with air control after being instructed to adjust its approach. Rescue teams continue to search despite poor weather and terrain.
That's all we have for today. Thanks so much for listening, TPO fam. If you're listening on the Apple Podcasts app, give us a 5-star rating and drop a review. If you're listening on Spotify, give us a follow and hit the notification bell to never miss a new episode. We're grateful for your support and hope you have a great Monday. Catch you on Wednesday.
Reading the Bible is life-changing and sometimes confusing. Instead of turning to Google for answers, get clarity you can count on with Bible Gateway Plus. You get ad-free Bible study with trusted commentary and study notes from real scholars right alongside the verses you're reading on your phone, tablet, or desktop. Use tools you can trust. Try Bible Gateway Plus free for 7 days at the link in the show notes. Plus, TPO listeners get 20% off annual plans with code POUROVER20.